The first evidence of the peanut butter and jelly sandwich was in 1901, when the recipe appeared in the Boston Cooking School magazine of Culinary Science and Domestic Economics, written by Julia Davis Chandler. However, the combo didn't really take off until World War II, when both peanut butter and jelly were part of the rations given to soldiers. Those soldiers took to eating the pair in tandem, and when those hungry soldiers returned from war, they had developed a taste for the delicious union. Today, we try out 3 peanut butter and jelly snacks. At least that was the idea. Until a massive beefcake chef stuck his nose in our plans. That's right, it's peanut butter, it's jelly, and it's Irvine. You tried it! You tried that. Peanut butter and jelly. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Nick Geiger.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Hello again, you fucking nerds.
He's back. Robert Irvine is back.
It's peanut butter jelly time, you fucking nerds.
He's getting more belligerent, but he's becoming less creative. He does not have any other lines in calling us nerds.
I'm gonna smear this peanut butter and jelly all over your glasses, you fucking nerds.
Is he British or is he Terrence and Phillip from South Park?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Want a fit crunch bar, buddy?
So we were talking a little before the episode. I'm selling in the process of selling my house, and it reminded me of a story that I love of Geiger's, where he was selling, and his house. He was told his house did not have enough bathrooms. So Geiger, why don't you remind me of the story?
So, we had a small starter home in Des Plaines, Illinois, that we sold, and we intended to just live there for a little bit, build some credit, and then sell it. But life got in the way, and we ended up having 2 kids, and it was only 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and it was just too small. Like we needed bedrooms for each kid, and we had a boy and a girl. We didn't want them sharing rooms. So anyway, we talked to a realtor. And it was hard to get people to come in. It was during the first recession and the housing crash a little bit. So like no one was buying, first of all. And second of all, it was just, it was too small a house and it was really hard. She kept telling us how it was so hard to get someone to come in the door to even look at a house that only had 1 bathroom.
You're right.
I'm like, well, unfortunately we just only have 1. She goes, if you could add like any other kind, like a just a toilet anywhere else in your house, that would really we could at least get people in the door. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you could you have all the space down here in the basement. So we had a little tiny den area. And then my wife had a desk set up to do work.
Right.
And then it was the laundry and the literally the water heater and all that stuff right there. The furnace. It was not like some sort of finished nice basement. And she's like, she points next to the water heater, which is right next to my wife's desk where she works. Just put a toilet right here. And I'm like, in the middle of the fucking basement? She goes, well, you can put a curtain around it. And I'm like, what? So people are going to get lured in. We're going to show them the 1.5 bath. And that half bath is going to be a shitter in the middle of my basement. No sink. She's like, well, there's a sink right there. And she points, we had those basins you put next to your washing machine. Yeah, that's right. Clean my dog. That's not where we're going to put amenities and toiletries.
For a shower, you just bang on the sprinkler system on the ceiling and you got a shower.
So I just kept cracking up at the thought of my wife just working on the phone with a client. And I'm like, just go downstairs with a newspaper, sit down next to her and just rip a big beefy shit.
Maybe.
Anyway, it's got a 401k and benefits. Nick, what are you doing? So
we used to joke that you should just put a bucket in the middle of the room, and when she came around showing the house to people, you'd just be sitting on the bucket with a newspaper.
Yeah, just have a bucket and a roll of toilet paper with a sign that says half bath right above it, so that people know. She was nice and she was trying, but that's the dumbest fucking idea. Because I'm like, well, then we'd have to dig into my basement and do a bunch of plumbing work. She's like, yeah. I'm like, this is going to be super expensive and stupid.
At least you didn't just say, like, dig a pit underneath it and it's like an outhouse style or whatever.
Just dig a hole and take a shit in it. And then once in a while, you got to scoop out the shithole.
Maybe she just thinks toilets are, like, really comfortable. Like, she's like, oh, replace this desk chair with a toilet and replace your couch with a row of 4 toilets.
It's like,
She just loves sitting on the toilet.
This house has 36 bathrooms.
She's like, I'm most productive when I'm on the toilet. Like, I get so much, reading done when I'm on the toilet. Think how much reading you'll get done in a house full of toilets.
she just goes to like a farm that's got all these buckets for catching milk and eggs. Like, look at all these shitters everywhere. Just lining the farm. She also called them shitters exclusively. I don't know why she did that. So Novak, are you doing that? Did you think about doing that to spruce up your house? I saw the ad you put up for your house said advertised 8 bathrooms. So I assume that's just 2 true bathrooms and 8 buckets.
We have a crawl space actually, so when people walk in, I just lift the like trapdoor part of the ground and say, they're like, "Where's the bathroom?" And I lift it, and it's all dank and dirty down there. And I'm like, "Shit is down there."
You want a magazine? It's like a magazine floating in a puddle of shit.
Or as they're walking by, like the closet that the crawl space is in, I just like the door swings open and I come up with a newspaper under my arm. Oh, just coming out, don't mind me.
Oh, hey! Oh, was it a showing? Sorry about that. You might not want to go down there. Just like close the cellar door.
So, house things aside, we're all stuck inside in various degrees of lockdown. But Chad, you recently were the first among us to go get the COVID test, and not because you felt ill, but just because they were offering tests. So,
Right.
what was the experience like?
Yeah, so, I'm fortunate enough to live here in San Francisco, where they are offering free COVID testing to anybody who wants it, basically, like any resident or anybody who works in SF. So yeah, so we're like, well, let's go get a test. So we signed up for it, and they had like tons of slots available. So we're like, oh, let's just go. Why not? So we drive over there, and it was like I have to say, it was like one of the sort of like weirdest things, like, I don't know if you guys know how this works, but they have like a really long cotton swab and they shove it up your nose, and they shove it like really far up your nose. I had heard that they shove it like up your nose, but I didn't like have any sense that it was really like as far as it was. And so my wife and I are in the car, and I go first, and they're like, okay, just like lean your head back. And she shoves this thing up, and it actually didn't hurt. It just like really tickled. And I just started laughing because like it just was like it was so wild to me, like how far they shoved this thing up my nose. And so, but I look over and I see my wife's jaw just like drop because like as she's watching this happen to me, and I'm like, what's going on? So after 10 seconds, they take it out, they go over and they test her. And so I get to see, and it literally, I thought the swab was going to like come out the like back of her brain. Like it just, it was so far up there. But after that, it was fine. Like, like it just sort of tickled in that nostril for kind of like the rest of the day or whatever.
That's like a hard thing to listen to. Like you picture yourself getting it done. You're like, yeah.
Well, I'm just glad it was a cotton swab and not a Robert Irvine Fit Crunch bar that they were shoving up my nose, because that would have been awful.
Were they like, now, in order to really test if you have COVID, you're going to have to use our half bath, and then they just pointed to a bucket behind a curtain?
It was out in the middle of a parking lot, so I mean, like, they could just flip over any parking cone, and like now that's a toilet.
Half bath.
Porta potty, the original half bath. When I had a tumor in my nose, I had to have removed, and to as part of the examination, just because part of it is we didn't know what was wrong. I couldn't breathe out of one side of my nose, and I was bleeding for like 45 minutes at a time. And so my original doctor, my like family doctor, didn't really know what the fuck he was doing, and was like just cauterizing random parts of my nose, like essentially burning it shut. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, did you see a crack where I keep bleeding out of? He goes, no, I just cauterizing the areas that are typically are cracks. I'm like, but to be clear, I had no crack. So It's not fun to do. Anyway, so we went to a specialist and they had to put a camera up there to look. And so it's the same thing where it's like a bendy kind of like almost like an endoscopy type of thing. And they
Yeah.
stick it up there and they're snaking it around and moving it to get better angles. And I'm like doing this, like, you know, my head tilted out. My eyes are just streaming water because it's like hit triggering all my sinuses.
Right.
And it's on the camera. I can see it. There's a big TV in the room. And he's like, oh, look at that. This is really interesting. Can you see it, Nick? And I'm like, I can't see shit. Like my eyes are like closed and all watery. That's neat. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll get the DVD. Can you just take it out now? Like, I don't need to. Like,
When they sell you a DVD at the end, like when you go skydiving and it's got all these like cheesy graphics and stuff, like 10 as the thing goes way up your nose.
In a world where some asshole has a bloody nose. Like, but it's like, why are we doing this?
This reminds me of it. I think I might have told you guys this story. Just the weirdest doctor story I ever had. When I had to go get a physical. Had to go get a physical. And so here comes this was probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. Here comes the part where I'm supposed to drop trow and then they cup your balls. And so he says, okay, take down your pants. He's standing probably 4 steps away from me. I figure he's maybe just getting ready. So I take down the pants and just I'm standing straight facing him. And he just looks down at my crotch, looks, and then tells me to cough. He tells me to cough. His hand's nowhere near me. He's 4 steps away. Tells me to cough. So I cough, and then he goes, all right. And that was it. He told me to put my pants back up. So I'm caught in the spot of, look, I'm no doctor. And look, I don't want this any more than you, but aren't you supposed to come over here and put your hand on my balls? Like, isn't that part of it?
Just super disappointed.
He just saw your balls and he's like, my hand wants no part of those things.
Did you like wait till he was like writing you a prescription and then just lay your balls on his hand real quick and cough?
He's like leaving and you're just chasing after him with your balls. Like, come on, get your hand over here. You haven't touched my balls yet.
Just coughing, following him down the hall.
You left him.
Look at this vibration.
You left him a terrible like Yelp review. Like, I went for a physical and he did not touch my balls. Like, really upset.
So I said nothing. I mean, you guys all? I wasn't expecting anything. I wasn't like, hey, Doc, I think there's a like cancerous lump here. And he's like, yeah, it seems fine. You know, then I probably would have called him out on it. But since I just needed the physical for work, then I just said, yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I had to do the cup your balls and cough thing. It was probably when I was like 18 or, you know, like I'm sure it's been like a very, very long time.
Because high school.
Like, certainly not in my recent adult life.
I remember he used the old line where he's used it a million times because it's an awkward spot where he just kind of like does the thing and then goes, all right, got to make sure you got one of these, 2 of them. Okay. Like, all right. Oh yeah, we need to make sure you have one of those and oh dear. Okay. It just makes a note.
You just keep making jokes. Oh, look at this thing. He's swinging around like a helicopter. Look at him
go. Oh, don't worry. It'll get bigger someday.
Ooh, that's quite an unkempt jungle you've got down there. Have you heard of manscaping?
All right. This will only hurt a little bit. So it's unbuckling his belt. Gotcha. What the fuck?
Sorry, Dak. My half bath has no room for a shaver.
You just throw a razor blade into the bottom of the bucket. Like, there we go. Now it's a full bath.
Then he juggled my nuts and goes, you know what we call this? 2 dogs and a half bath.
The doctor did not do me a nice thing with not touching my balls, but Chad, you recently had something nice done to you.
You're pretty broken up about this.
Remember me? I'm 20 years later. I show up at his house, just pants down.
You did have back problems later. Maybe you've had a hernia this whole time that went undiagnosed.
You just show up at his funeral and like just flop your balls onto his corpse, and you're like, now you gotta cup him.
Just start coughing in front of his family.
Yeah, just
Nice thing.
real quick. I just wanted to inject a little bit of positivity. I had something that made me feel pretty good happen to me, and so I'll tell the story, and then you guys can, just rip into me for it or whatever. The other day, I was out walking my dog in the morning, and usually for my morning walk, I've got my dog, and then I've got my daughter pushing her along in the stroller. We just kind of go out for like a little morning walk. It is a little chilly in San Francisco in the mornings, so we have a like a full body bear coat that I put my daughter in. So it's like a full body suit, zips up in the front, and it's like all bear fur, little bear ears, right? Like the kind of shit that you put like a little girl in. Super adorable. So she's in that in the stroller. I got my dog alongside of me, and I have a very, very, very cute dog, if I do say so myself. You can check him out at Napoleon Pooley on Instagram. Anyways, so so we're out walking. I see these three women coming up like on the sidewalk. It's a pretty wide sidewalk, so we're able to sort of like keep, social distancing or whatever. Right away I'm on board with all three of these women because they're all wearing Green New Deal t-shirts. And so I'm like, okay, these women are okay by me. So they come up and the one woman says, she first notices the dog. She's like, oh my God, that's like, your dog is so adorable. She asked me a couple questions about the dog, like, how old is he? Does his hair grow naturally like that, etc. Then she sees my daughter, and she literally like lets out like kind of like a squee, like a oh my God kind of thing. Then she just stops, and she just sort of does this like hand circle, like wax on kind of motion to gesture towards the baby and the dog. And she says, all this stuff right here, cuteness overload. And so that made me feel pretty good because I was actually within the boundaries of the hand motion that she was doing. And so if my daughter and my dog are able to override my ugliness to become like a full cuteness overload, right? They must be pretty cute. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Were you like, did you put your face like directly in front of her hand? Like, moved it down there really quickly?
My head's just moving in a circle, like as her hand moves, like completely mimicking it.
She's trying to get her hand past your face.
I can confirm your daughter is extraordinarily cute.
Oh, thanks.
And your dog is cute too, but your daughter is very, very cute.
Well, especially when she's in a bear suit. Except one time some nerd thought it was an Ewok suit when he was walking past. He's like, oh, little Ewok. And I was like, you fucking nerd. I was channeling my Robert Irvine.
As you wore your like collection of Far Side t-shirts. What a dweeb.
Hey, I haven't had a Far Side t-shirt in a good 18 years, okay?
Lean back.
What?
Lean back. You're wearing an Ewok t-shirt.
I am wearing an Ewok t-shirt
right now.
Making
fun of this guy. What the fuck? I was like, wait a minute. That fucking dweeb. Check out my Ewok t-shirt.
I can't believe I wore this fucking shirt today.
Wait a minute, did he see you with the baby today while you were wearing that shirt?
No, okay. no. That one was like
I don't blame this guy at all.
That's great. Oh, it is nice to hear the good stories in the tough times. But speaking of nerds, we need to move on to our food.
Yeah.
We've got 3 snacks to try. We're going to rate them on a 5-point scale. A love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Let's start. We're going to leave, obviously, Fit Crunch for last. We have to.
Of course.
Let's start with the organic Ocho PB&J bar. So this is kind of a smaller, it's not really small, but it's a bit shorter of a bar. Organic Ocho. And it says milk chocolate filled with peanut butter and raspberry jam. So the jelly in this case is raspberry jam.
Now, have we talked about jam sort of like rankings here, right? Like in my opinion, raspberry jam probably near the bottom of jams. I'd much rather see a strawberry. Maybe I like a grape jelly or jam, but maybe not on this type of bar. But I feel like strawberry should have been the move here.
Yeah, I prefer grape for a sandwich or toast or something like that. And I do prefer jam over jelly, actually. I much prefer jam.
What's the difference?
Oh, only psychopaths prefer jelly.
Well, jam just has the seeds or something, or what's the difference?
Jam is more like mashed up fruit, and jelly is more like a paste.
I'm preferential to grape jelly just because I grew up with it, and strawberries make me allergic. But I think it's weird that they call this a PB&J bar, and then the J is actually raspberry jam. Like, you just are assuming it's going to be grape jelly, but I don't care that much.
It smells pretty dark chocolatey. I haven't taken a bite yet.
So then, what's the difference with like marmalade? Is that not a jelly or a jam? I guess I don't know what fruit that's from. I guess I could look this up.
Marmalade's usually from like oranges or something, right?
Yeah.
Jelly's just much more like globs, and jam just spreads much easier.
Yeah. It's also probably a lot more heavily processed, or it seems that way.
I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, so there's a pretty significant bottom layer of chocolate. It's almost like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. 1/3 chocolate, 1/3 peanut butter, 1/3 jam. I was expecting maybe a little more peanut butter, but the ratio is not bad.
The jam's really good. Like, it's not a shitty, overly sweet, like, sticky crap.
Jam. It is good, actually.
All
right. Geiger, you're our leadoff guy. What do you think of the Ocho?
This is really good. The jam is really good. I don't know, like, it's like not super sticky. It's not like gooey. It's like a liquid. It's like soft, and it's like appropriately tart and not overly sweet. Chad hit it on the head too, where I think the proportions are good. It's not. I could use a little more peanut butter. That, like, I think if they made the peanut butter a little bit more prominent and not the chocolate, would have been a little better. But I'm kind of nitpicking. The chocolate tastes good too. Maybe I'm just overtaken by our recent episodes, but I love this thing. This is good. I love that. This is really tasty.
Yeah, good start. I love that to start. There's a lot more love flying around recently.
I've noticed that.
Maybe we're trying to bring this country back from the tough times with this snack love. Chad, what do you think? Do you agree with Geiger?
We're trying to point out all the cuteness overload of these snacks. This is a very good bar, and as much as I trash talked the raspberry choice, it works really well. I can't give it a love dat though. It is really, really good. So what I did was I took little isolated bites of each layer. So I got just a bite of the peanut butter, just a bite of the chocolate layer. The problem is that the peanut butter is not a top tier peanut butter. I think the peanut butter could be a little better, and I think there should be a little bit more peanut butter and a little bit less of that chocolate layer across the bottom. So for me, it's right there on the border, but I can't quite bump it up into love dat. So I'm going to give it a very, very high like that. It is a really good bar, though.
I'm right in line with you guys. I think it's a really borderline love or like. It's very good. The peanut butter, like you said, there needs to be more of it, and maybe a little bit less of the jam. The jam is good, but I don't think it's the perfect jam for this bar. I think there's a version of this bar that is a love. I'm not sure that that's for me, but it's very close. So I'm going to give it a like that also. A love and 2 likes, a very strong start for the Ocho. I was not expecting that at all.
No, me either.
So pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to its counterpart now, the Hammond's PB&J sandwich. Milk chocolate with peanut butter and jelly. We'll see if the jelly is grape this time. Now, Hammond's, if you listen to our Denver episode, actually, Hammond's was responsible for the first ever basket of puppies. So they have big shoes to fill here. So we'll see if they can do it again. But Hammond's is a Denver-based company.
Yeah, so this is also a raspberry jam. Looking at the ingredients, yeah, these were given to us courtesy of my brother David. And he was originally debating on that episode he was on the other week if he wanted to do this bar or the biscuit bar. He decided on the biscuit bar, which allowed us to throw us into this matchup. But I'm opening mine, and it is like sticky and melted. Not a great presentation to start with. It's divided into 6 rectangles.
I'm nervous that I started off too hot, and now I'm going to like this one more, and I'm going to be forced to give out another love, and now I've just become this love whore. I was handing out all these loves.
It is different.
It's a lot different form factor than the Ocho. It's thinner, flatter.
Mine is also kind of sticky and like leaking.
It's definitely. I mean, it's the same deal, but it is very different. Same ingredients done in a totally different way. This is really, in shape, much more like a Hershey bar, just flat. And so when you look at a cross section, you can see the peanut butter and the jam in there, but it's not quite so clear.
I don't taste as many distinct flavors in this one as I do the other one. I feel like there's not as much jam, and there's even the peanut butter kind of gets lost in there a little bit.
All right, Chad, you're up first this time.
This is really tough. Hold on, I gotta take another bite here. So you are right. I think the chocolate is better here. If I'm gonna compare the two, you don't get quite as much peanut butter or jam in each bite, but I think just overall the mixture works better for me. I think it's very smooth bites in my mouth. The aftertaste I think is a little bit better. I like the chocolate here better than I do for the Ocho, and I think that is just going to push it just into a love dat for me. I think this bar is really, really good.
That is, I could have got behind love for the Ocho, but not for this. It is not as good as the Ocho is. It's just not. I mean, the chocolate, I guess, is okay. It's fine, but the other, even if it wins on chocolate, it loses on the peanut butter and the jam. Those 2 ways it loses. Now it's still. What? What's up?
I just went back and took another bite of the Ocho, and you're definitely right. The Ocho's better.
What are you going to change?
Peer pressure.
Changing mine to a like.
Yeah, I can't. The Ocho is better, but I can't say that I wouldn't eat this whole thing and feel pretty good about it. So, in all good consciousness, I can't give it anything less than a like that. But the Ocho is the better of these 2 bars. So 2 likes. Geiger, do we have a welcome visitor or not quite?
No, we do. It's a good bar. I think you guys said what needed to be said. I agree with Chad probably that the chocolate is the chocolate alone is higher quality chocolate. My problem is that all I taste is kind of the chocolate. There's not enough of the rest of it for me. Like I want more peanut butter and I want more jam. And what I liked so much about the Ocho is that I normally don't love chocolate and fruit together, but the tartness of the jam was like a cool contrast. And all I got was like super sweet chocolate. So it's very good. It's still a good candy bar, but I would pick the Ocho hands down over this every time. So solid like that. It's very good, but not quite the Ocho level of enjoyment that I got.
Okay, Ocho in the lead, and Robert Irvine is he's heading backstage. He's getting greased up. He's got a high score to overcome, but he is ready this time. So we'll give him a little time to get oiled up and ready to go. Geiger, you got a segment?
I do. So, much like Novak's doctor trying to find a shortcut for his exam, much like my realtor trying to figure out a better way to sell my house, these people were kind of early adopters. They were way ahead of the rest of a burgeoning fad that we would come to know, and that is hacks.
Yes.
It is a return to Hackland Now that we are all trying to be our best selves in quarantine, it's time. We have lots more time to waste on pointless fucking hacks. So,
Yes, hack me.
Ever since our last hack segment, I've been doing shit the long way.
yeah,
I've been
you have
taking
been
me
wasting
forever
a
to do
lot of
things.
time. Probably
Yeah.
spending too much money, probably wasting too much time, definitely getting uglier. So, I'm going to help you with 2 of those 3.
I've been using half baths that had walls and
you've been taking your time to painstakingly create a nice bathroom situated in the correct area of your house as opposed to a fucking bucket on the floor.
Just throw a bucket in the basement and a towel over it. Bathroom hacked.
Realty ad, 1.5 shitters. Check. All right. So guys, look, I had to expand our horizons a little bit. I think we exhausted a lot of the food-based ones, but there's a few food ones in here and a few just general life hacks that, quite frankly, you should be fucking doing. Okay?
all right.
All right.
So we mail each other
Ready.
packages all the time, right?
Yeah.
For like full of
Mhm.
snacks. Have you ever had to mail like glassware or something that you're worried would break? Or even like, Novak, you're moving. You got lots of glasses,
Sure.
dishes. You don't want to get
Yeah.
those fucked up, do you? You're supposed to answer.
I'm gonna wrap them in newspaper.
Yeah, you can if you're
No,
a
I
fucking
don't.
chump. But if
They're priceless heirlooms.
let's just say you had a cost-efficient and delicious way to pack them. That's right. Pop a bunch of microwave popcorn, put it in the box, and stick your nice glassware in it. They're gonna come out of that box nice and salty and greasy as fuck. You like your cookies buttery? How about your wine glasses? All right, that's one.
next time I have to mail you out some snacks, I'm just gonna fill the box with popcorn and be like, here you go, here's some fucking Oreos in a Ziploc surrounded by popcorn.
How much microwave popcorn does it take to fill up a box?
I know. Like, make an ungodly amount of popcorn. Put it in the box. And then the person that wrote the article on the site was like, and then afterward, you have a tasty treat. Yeah, because after 3 hours or 3 weeks on a UPS truck, that's what I wanted to do, is pop open a box of stale fucking microwave popcorn.
This popcorn tastes very cardboardy, just like I like it. Break
All right.
into a movie theater overnight. Take all their leftover popcorn. Rub
Guys.
your balls on it. Cough. Put it in a box.
It's elaborate. Hacked. All right, guys, we're all fucking businessmen here, right? Titans of industry.
Absolutely.
We've got millions and millions of pennies to our name.
Not a businessman.
I'm a
business
business
man.
Come on, man.
I'm over here inviting chumps to fucking have courtside seats. That's what a businessman I am.
Huh?
Never mind. Reference to last week. Go ahead.
Oh, that's right. I was like, what? I was so confused. I didn't remember that at all. Okay. One of the problems of the modern day businessman is that you get handed so many goddamn business cards, and then what do you do with them? You lose them, you stuff them in your wallet, and then later...
Can't stand it.
What's that?
I can't stand it.
Oh, you can't stand it, right? And then later you're looking for them. Man, who is that guy that I met at that sales event? How do I find it? Get ready. Take out your phone, right? Take a picture of it. Hacked. Because you know what, guys? You know what's much more efficient? Getting that fucking douchebag's card from some fucking convention you didn't want to be at 6 months later. Scrolling through all kinds of pictures of your food and your children and your dog and your cousin's wedding to find Bob from marketing from some event that you're probably not going to use. Hacked.
What site is this from?
It was like kidssite.au. It's like some Australian website.
Site?
It is kidspot.com.au. It's supposed to be about parenting. I'm a bit confused so far. That's fine.
Teaching kids to take pictures of the business cards that'll be like all mixed in with their dick pics and stuff. Like sexting pictures. Accidentally sext their girlfriend a business card.
I'm not a businessman. I'm a business, dick pic. Novak, Do you need a half bath in the basement of your house?
Oh, more than anything.
Okay. If you've got like a random toilet built in the middle of your basement, it's probably not properly heated, right? So you're going to sit down next to your loving wife who's trying to provide for your family and take a big boiling shit on a nice cold toilet seat, right? You don't want a cold, no one likes sitting down on a cold toilet seat, right?
No, not at all.
Okay. And so what would you do? Why go out and buy a seat cover when you have a perfectly nice unused pair of socks? That's right. Slide those fuckers around the rim of the toilet seat and then take a big hairy dump on them. Is that cool? Yeah. Because you got a pair of socks sitting on your toilet covered in shit flecks. Packed. It looks super classy. It's easily washable. You might want to remember what pair of socks those are so you don't wear them. But other than that, you are set.
Does this work if I'm in public? I could just take off the socks that I'm wearing and use them?
That is brilliant. New hack. I got to update the site. I mean, tell the people. All right. Guys, man, I love a nice peanut butter sandwich, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Now, Chet, as your child gets older, and Novak, do you make peanut butter sandwiches for your kids? I know I do. You know what's so time consuming about it? Getting the bread out, getting the peanut butter, getting a knife, spreading it around.
Taking a shit, putting my socks back on.
Packing that shit in a box, filling it with popcorn. I don't want to spend a good 30 seconds spreading peanut butter. You know what I could do that would be much, much more time consuming?
What's that?
Take a couple pieces of wax paper, take a bunch of peanut butter, lay it in between the sheets, roll it out with a rolling pin, stick it in the freezer, wait till it freezes, bring it back out, cut it into bread-shaped squares. Boom! I have frozen peanut butter squares that I can just slap on a piece of bread and heat up when I need them.
Oh my fucking god!
What?
Yep. Super fucking
What is
convenient. Look, you don't go and make a new piece of cheese every time you need a cheese sandwich. You use a Kraft single, right? Same thing.
Yeah, is that like a peanut butter Kraft single? Is that like what it's telling you to make?
Essentially, yeah. I don't know if you heat it up. It's not going to be melty. It sounds pretty terrible, but also sounds like it takes a ton of fucking work.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That sounds obnoxious. Could we roll out this Fit Crunch bar between wax paper and then slap that onto sandwiches? Would that be possible?
I say, good chaps, I've been hacked.
You have to be as strong as Robert Irvine to roll out this fucking brick.
Could I use my excess business cards to spread the peanut butter?
You could put it between two business cards to have mini peanut butter slices to eat at work. But not if you're taking pictures of them. Also, the thing I love about the taking pictures, then what do? Just throw the card away? I guess
you just whip it back in his
Answer
face.
my own question.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is what you
need
do.
this. All right.
No, the picture's a backup. You keep the card too.
That's true. Yeah. And your Rolodex that everyone keeps. I've got an elaborate TV setup. There's a surround sound. There's the TV. There's the other thing. There's another thing. There's a cable box. You get all these remotes, right?
Sure.
Now, look, I know you go to Best Buy, you can buy a universal remote. I get it. Why do that?
That's a pain in the ass. Yeah.
3 rubber bands. Yeah. Stick them all together, put rubber bands around them, giant remote. Now you don't lose them. I mean, they're not interconnected in any way. You still got to use all of them. But now the wad is so big, it won't slip between the couch cushions. Hacked!
Hold on, I'm confused. Are they like kind of back to back to back? Like this
Yes.
remote goes here style? Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's not like
Yes.
front to back with like a really long rubber band tenuously holding them all together in a long staff shape.
No, it's not a vertical pole of remotes. No, that's not. Although that would be equally as sensible. No, it's all bound up together. Hey, we do it for our pencils and our other things you use rubber bands for already. Celery. Why not use it for this? Okay. Couple more and then we're out. I think I've already improved your lives enough. Okay, guys. 2 more. Guys, look. We like to have our dinner parties, don't we?
Love to.
We do.
But we're also broke as shit, right?
Captain dinner party.
Yeah. So if you're on a budget now, you can't really afford to have a dinner party, but you're going to do it anyway because it's the right thing to do.
It's tough with one bathroom, too.
Right. It gets real filled up in there. Well, what are you going to do if you're on a budget and you can't serve proper after dinner mints? Everyone knows that's a key staple of a dinner party.
Roll out the window.
Pop popcorn and roll it up and stick it in the freezer.
Yeah. Well, you're close. Buy your favorite tube of toothpaste, put it in the freezer, and slice that fucker up. Hacked. It'll give them great breath. They use like in the picture they had the Aquafresh one, so the red and blue stripes with the white, and they're like, they even look really cool. Like nothing says class like feeding your guests toothpaste.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to swallow that much toothpaste.
I'm pretty sure if you're that broke, don't have a dinner party. What are you serving them? Pre-sliced peanut butter? All right. And finally, in the most sensible, totally reasonable, cost and time effective hack I've ever heard. Guys, it's summer coming up. And even though we're stuck in the house, you still want a nice, comfy pair of flip-flops to walk around in, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I need it because my socks are on the fucking John.
But look, aren't you tired of spending so much fucking money on flip-flops? They're so expensive, I think. I've never bought
They
them.
are, yeah.
5 upwards of $10.
Right. Here's what you do instead. You got to go to a craft store, buy a hot glue gun and a bunch of hot glue and paper. And then you come home. All you got to do is follow these 9 easy steps. Trace your foot on a piece of paper. Then painstakingly cover the tracing with hot glue. Wait for it to dry. Cut that out. Then go to another piece of paper. Write out a strip that's long enough to bend over the top of your foot and attach to the 2 sides. Guess what? You guessed it. Cover it in hot glue. Wait for that to dry. Cut it out. Then use your hot glue that you still have remaining and attach it at the 2 ends. Hot glue slippers. A, they look super fucking classy. B, you've only wasted a week of your life. C, you had to buy a hot glue gun, which I haven't checked, but I'm guessing is as expensive as a pair of slippers in Kmart.
How long could that possibly last?
That's a good insight.
Could a hot glue sandal, how long could that possibly last?
Like, take 2 steps. Also, they've got to be the most uncomfortable fucking thing in the world. Would you like a very thin layer of glue to support your arches? Here we go. So, yeah, let me know how those work out for everybody. I'm glad I was able to save everyone time and money. This has been another edition of Hacked.
That's a good tips there. My life has been changed.
Yeah, I think. I'm going to save a significant amount of time. So, we only have a finite amount of time here today, though, and we've got a bar the size of the world to get through. So, back by unpopular demand, Chef Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch Bar. And famously, the first Fit Crunch bar that we tried way back when, if you should find that episode because it's one of our all-time best episodes. We tried the Robert Irvine Fit Crunch birthday cake bar, and it was god awful. The first ever flaming bag of dog shit that we had, and it was just completely inedible. Now, Geiger, you've heard that these were the best of the bunch. Is that right?
I was actually trying to look up like reviews of the Fit Crunch bars because I thought they'd be funny, but I'm assuming either people that eat this kind of stuff just don't have taste buds, or it was all like scrubbed by their marketing department because everyone's saying all of them are great. However, everyone does seem to think the birthday cake or the peanut butter is one of the better ones. Like a lot of people saying this is the best flavor. So I don't know.
I said this in the last time we ate one of these. I can't get over these fucking ingredients. Like it's 10 paragraphs worth of ingredients, and I haven't heard. Let's see, how it's like 7 ingredients before I've heard of one of them, which is like vegetable oil. You know what I mean? Like there's
You
so
haven't heard
much
of maltitol?
chemicals. And it says it's the only 6-layer baked bar. I don't know of any 6-layer non-baked bars or any other baked bars. Like, what are they trying to prove there?
This again, I think the thing that stands out to me, again, this is supposed to be like a healthy snack in theory, and this thing feels like it weighs 6 pounds. It's just a barbell of a snack. It's gigantic.
I just picture Irvine like taking a bite and then being saying needs maltodextrin, and then they takes another bite and they're like needs soy lectin, and like just one ingredient after another, just adding shit.
Just big vats with skull and crossbones on them. He just keeps pouring.
The scientists are like, what the fuck?
It smells okay.
I saw Chad just holding the thing in his hand because you need 2 hands to hold it. So you're holding it in 2 hands, staring down at it, just with this look. Like, I mean, if I didn't see what you were holding, it looked like you were holding an enema or something. Just disturbed at having to put this inside of your body.
It's so big, and I don't understand how it's so big, but it's quote only 380 calories. It's just so big and heavy, right? Like.
There must be no calories in tocopherols.
It's the only 6-layer baked bar. 6 layers.
The 3rd layer is guacamole.
No, the 3rd layer is acetylated monoglycerides. A whole layer of just that.
Just like
right,
Mommy's.
It does at least smell a tiny bit better than the birthday cake one did.
The birthday cake one was so disgusting. This one, it just appears to be chocolate with some peanut butter strips across the top. I'll let you guys do it first. I'm afraid to do it.
Oh.
No.
Get the old jaw workout.
Oh, fuck. No, fuck.
God damn it. Why?
Irvine, you got us again.
Why?
What the fuck? Ah.
Why is it so
love that.
gummy?
Yeah, the cookie is like fucking caramel. It's like glue. It's like,
Cookie?
well, when the sponge in the bottom. He said angrily, "Cookie." Ugh.
Why? Why is it like this?
It tastes like a hot glue slipper. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Like, do you taste
There's at least
peanut butter or peanut? A little bit.
God fucking damn it.
Fuck you. Fuck you,
Call-
fucking Robert Irvine.
It's so hard to eat. Why?
It's called the peanut butter bar, guy. Do you taste peanut butter? It's a 4-pound. It's a 12-pound piece of candy called the peanut butter bar, and we're trying to find any taste of peanut butter.
I mean, it tastes like peanuts just surrounded by a bunch of shit.
Ugh.
Ugh.
The top, I
God.
guess, the top part is maybe peanut butter-esque. The bottom part, what the? Ugh.
What?
I don't understand it.
Wow.
Here's it. You know, like try to take a bite of just the top part without the sponge.
Okay. Well, it's got 7 layers, so I have a shot.
Yeah, get just the top like layer or 2.
Not bad.
It's not horrible, but that sponge is it's just such inedible glue. It's
like eating dry
don't
rubber
get it.
cement. Like, it's not soft, it's not chewy, it's just like squishy, like globular weirdness.
Jesus.
Ugh. It's terrible. I feel like I'm about to create a half bath in my chair right now.
Give it to me, you nerds. I can take it. Oh man.
Sounds like you nerds need some more monosodium glycoside.
Oh.
What's wrong, nerds? Never seen 74 ingredients in a bar before?
What, you nerds can only take 5 layers of baked goodness?
Little do you nerds know, you have to be working out for 7 years to chew through this fucking thing. My jaw muscles are popping.
He had to approach the food scientists who created this thing, and when they told him, Robert, it's too many ingredients, doesn't taste good, he just said, "You fucking nerds."
He just put one of them in a headlock and they're like, we'll put it all in there. We'll put it all
He's
in
like,
there.
just for that, I'm adding 6 more chemicals.
The bottom layer doesn't taste gross or is dense enough.
The next chemical is nerd, and then he threw the scientist in.
The aftertaste is fucking horrible.
It's bad.
Who
That is a
eats
bad
this
aftertaste.
shit? God damn it.
All right, I'll go first. Well, this may come as a little surprise that this is terrible, and there's nothing good to say about it. The peanut butter part that may be peanut butter doesn't even taste good. The chocolate isn't good. Whatever the other 70 ingredients are also not good. Look, if I had to eat this or the birthday cake, I would probably eat this. But that's just kind of on a coin flip. I'm going to say a hate that to start. Geiger, you feeling hate that?
Yeah. I mean, this might be a flaming bag of dog shit that they sprinkled peanut butter on and wrapped in a thing. I don't know. It's definitely, I will say it's unequivocally better than the birthday cake. It is better, but because I feel like the birthday cake was all that glue with just sugar on top, where this is mostly that glue with different sugar on top. So it's just so bad. They're fucking huge. It's not like a convenient snack on the go. It's like a fucking meal you need a fork and a knife for. And it's, like I do think that top layer, it's not great. Like if you're looking at peanut butter chocolate bars, it's still be down on the list, but at least it resembles that. But the gluey whey protein center or whatever that is so shitty and so weird consistency, and it leaves such a bad aftertaste that this thing is terrible. Robert Irvine, you asshole! Can't wait for Robert Irvine number 3. But it this is a hate that. This is terrible. Chad, you loved it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you guys just sound like a bunch of fucking nerds here complaining about this delicious, amazing bar. Yeah, I mean, this thing is like a home run for me. It's got that amazing layer of peanut butter at the top. It's got some incredible crisped rice in there that provides some nice texture. It's got just absolute high quality chocolate all the way around. And don't even get me started on that amazing creation of fucking shoe leather and sponge and bottom of a horse's hoof.
Scientist tears
across the bottom. Yeah, I mean, this thing's horrible. It's inedible. It's one of the worst things I've ever put in my mouth. It is noticeably better than the birthday cake, but it is still just fails on every level. This is an easy hate that. It's awful. No surprise.
3 hates, flaming bag of dog shit, and I'm like actually feeling ill. Like I feel my stomach feels bad. I'm sweating. I'm like really sweaty now, and I had to move it away. Like I really felt nauseous there. Like I was going to have to go use my half bath. Like it was not good. I'm trying to overcome it to finish here. It's so bad. It's disturbingly bad. It's fucking...
How many bites did you take?
I took 2 bites, and that was too many. I took one because I had to, because that's the point of our podcast. And then I took another one. I don't know why.
I ate
Was
about a
Yeah.
compelled.
quarter.
How many did you guys take?
Probably about a quarter. I wanted to make sure that I understood.
You
that
ate
it
a
was good.
quarter?
You ate a quarter of the
Yeah, I
bar?
think I just consumed 900 calories. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's
A quarter of the bar is a full other bar.
I also ate the entire Ocho bar and half of the Hammonds. I'm gonna take a full dump in a full bathtub tonight. Bath. Well, maybe a bathtub.
A bathtub.
I'm gonna fill up bathtub with my leavings right now.
Novak is like fanning himself.
Yeah, Novak, you all right?
No, I'm
Did
not.
this bar give you COVID?
I don't. All right, with our time left before I pass out here, Geiger, where can they listeners contact us?
If you have any hack suggestions, or if those hacks changed your life in any meaningful way, remember it was because of me. So please credit me in all of your future endeavors. If you are Robert Irvine and you'd like to explain to us the scientific formula behind your Frankensnacks, if you're not Robert Irvine and you just want to listen to our podcast, that also would be great. You can do so anywhere you normally get your podcasts. We are also on YouTube. You can subscribe to us there. We are on Twitter, hashtag You Tried Dat. We are on Facebook with a You Tried Dat group. We are. You can reach out to us at youtrydat@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram, along with Napoleon, the cutest dog in the world. And we are on various other social media. So reach out to us, give us your feedback, leave us a rating. Except you, Robert Irvine, go fuck yourself. Everyone else, you're in. Hack the shit out of your lives. And yeah, thanks for listening, and hope we're providing some entertainment in this rather weird time of our history.
I actually disagree. I think if we found out that Robert Irvine listened to our podcast, it would be the greatest moment of my life, I think.
Finding out anyone listen to our
I want-
podcast is exciting, but yeah.
I want Robert Irvine to guest. Let's Robert Irvine, I'm calling you out. Come on our podcast. We will try nothing but Fit Crunch bars for the whole episode. You pick the flavors. Let's make it happen.
Let's make him eat an entire one. What do you think his appearance fee would be? Can we pull that together? Probably a lot.
He's not going to charge us anything because.
Does he actually eat these? Do you think there's a chance? There's a chance he eats these things?
Not a chance in hell.
No. He wouldn't look like that if he did, right? Like he'd look more like Jabba the Hutt.
Well, I mean, but aren't they? You said they're not that many calories, right?
I guess.
380. 380 per serving. How many?
That's quite a lot.
One serving size?
Yeah.
For who? Robert fucking Irvine?
For
It's
Jabba
gluten
the
free.
Hutt.
Yeah, they're gluten. I'll give it to Betsy. They're gluten free. Ew.
Well, he's done it again. 2 flaming bags. Maybe there is an Irvine bar out there that is good, and maybe we will find it another 50 episodes from now. But for today, that's going to do it. But we will be back next time when we're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.
On a scale of 1 to 10, this will be a -10.